Okay, Glenn, moving on to England.
Yeah.
You've talked about the concerns that you have for them for the rest of the series. You know, give us an indication of what you think those concerns are.
Well, the first one was Jimmy Anderson at Lords. The wicket they prepared basically nullified him. He was a big player up in Cardiff, especially the swing he was getting. Hardly got any swing at Lords and basically nullified him. The wicket nullified him and probably Mark Wood. So that's my first concern. And then the second concern is the England batting order. You can't go 3 or 4 down for 30 and expect to win Test matches too often. So there had to be a change. There has been the one change, and maybe more, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, and on that change, Johnny Bairstow comes in. It's unlikely he'll bat at 3, although he's replaced Gary Ballance at the top of the order. You've seen a bit of Johnny Bairstow in the previous Ashes series. What do you think of him? Do you rate him?
Well, Bairstow, in previous Ashes, he came in. He was keeping midway through that the series. Didn't do a great deal with the bat, and I think shortly after, was left out of the England team. So he'll have memories of that. But he's in the best form of his life, he says at the moment. And I'm interested to see if who takes the gloves, whether it's him or Butler. But I think you need someone with a good positive attitude coming in that didn't play in that last innings. I think just to lift and get on with things and hopefully make a difference.
So if Bairstow doesn't bat at 3, if you were choosing the England side, who would you bat at 3?
Well, you've got to bat your best batsman at 3. That's the way it's always been. Australia did it with Boone for a long time, for Ricky Ponting for a long time. So you need your best batsman number 3. They moved Steve Smith up to number 3 and went out and got a double 100. So I think last series here in England you would have had Ian Bell, because he was in quality football. Belly's, I think, struggling a bit. So Joe Root is probably England's best batsman at the moment. So he's a guy I would have at 3, but I think there's concerns. So I think Australia's worked him out, and the way they bowled him at Lords, he's going to get plenty more of that.
Yeah. And just on England's bowling, you've talked a little bit about the Jimmy Anderson and Mark Wood. Do you think Mark Wood looked? It'd be fair to say he looked a bit tired, I thought, at Lords. He's a young guy coming in and playing basically back-to-back Test matches. Do you reflect on that at all when you were a young bowler? Was it difficult playing back-to-back Test matches, and physically, what were the demands for someone that young?
Yeah, throughout my career, I wanted to play every game, and the more I played, the better I felt. So whether I'm just a little bit unusual in that respect, but with watching Mark Wood, I like the way he powers through the crease. He's got good follow through. He's got good variation. My only concern with him is his run up so short, and it looks like he really pushes off hard and tries to gain as much pace as he can off a very short run up, and then everything's at the crease. So I think he's using so much more energy every ball to bowl that pace. So he's not using his run up to build up momentum and then drive through the crease, because I said he's got a great follow through, but he's just doing so much work in a short space of time that I think he's burning too much energy to extract the pace. I'd like to see him have a longer run up, but whether that's one of the reasons why he looked a little bit tired at Lords, and the wicket itself was flat and you're getting nothing out of it, and sometimes you even try harder, you try harder and nothing's coming out. So a good 9 days. It'll be a good rest for him, and if there's a little bit in the wicket, I think he'll be happy. But in the long run, I'd like to see him just off a longer run and get a bit more momentum. I think that would help his longevity and bowling, longer spells and coming back later in the day. Yeah.
Okay. Prediction. Listen, I have to say on your 5-0 prediction.
Went down the drain.
But. No, seriously, prediction-wise, you're a strong, passionate Aussie man, and I'm likewise on the English side. Yeah. Let's try and park that for a second. Be as sensible as we can. How do you see this next test going?
I'm always very confident that Australia can do well. But if I sit back and just reflect on the way the last test went, there's that last innings especially was big for the Australian team. to assert dominance over this English batting lineup, and I think it was really bad for England with the way they just capitulated there. There was no fight, the way they got out. So I think big concerns there. If England don't turn that around, I think without a doubt, and no rain, if they don't turn that around, it will be 4-1. If Jimmy Anderson can find that swing again, the batsman can do the work. If Joe Root sort of finds the form he was in Cardiff, then it could be a little bit closer. But yeah, I've got big concerns with the way England were dismissed. If that carries on the rest of the series, it's hardly going to be competitive.
Okay, we will see. Thanks a lot.